for the month of July, being our World Watercolour Month. So I am going to share colouring with watercolour pencils. They are so much fun, honestly, and so easy to do. Really quite magic. So excited to be able to share them with you today. And I'm going to be using some of the amazing things out of the Sale-a-bration catalogue. So let's flick over to the desk. And I'm going to show you exactly where, let me just check on my monitor though that I am up and running, yay. Okay, excellent. Right, so this is where you will find them on page 126, and it is, you have two options. You have the assortment 1 and assortment 2. So just really would depend on what you were looking, what would be best for you and what you're creating with. And I've got both, of course, and they both have completely different colour range in them. So yeah, I think it's perfect to get both, so you have the huge range of colour that you need. Okay, and as I said, we're going to be using some things from the Sale-a-bration catalogue, and there's some pretty amazing things in here. Are going to be using this beautiful Rings of Love designer series paper. I'll just quickly show you that. So you get 2 each of these. Beautiful. I love these houses on here. And these are 6 designs. So you get 2 each of 6 designs. And, oops, of course there's a flip side to them as well. And that is the gorgeous flip side to them. Just stunning. So we're using just a small bit of that. We're going to be using the Stylish Sketches stamp set and this Amazing Phrases stamp set. So a few of the stamp sets today. Okay, let's get started. Now I've pre-stamped. Now of course when you are watercolouring you need to use stays on, and that just means that this is alcohol based, and when you're using water it doesn't run, so you can't use memento. But before we get colouring, I'm going to just stamp the sentiment. As I say, I'm going to be using something from the Amazing Phrases. I think these are so fun, these sentiments. Some really good combinations that you can put together here. So I'm going to be using Hey good looking. I thought that was fun. Looks as though he's telling her that she's very good looking, I think. Okay. So photopolymer, so let me grab my sponge, my foam, so I get a nice crisp image, and I'll put that there, and I just let it rest for a minute. And good looking. Just so that I make sure that I have enough, that was close to the edge, room. Plus also if I've coloured with watercolour, I have to wait for it to dry. Okay, so this is I put all my pencils in this tin here. I've got a couple of sets of each really, I think. So quickly show you this set as well, the Stylish Sketches that we're using. I'm going to colour the ducks in, but I have got a couple of cards to show you with the fox and the leaves. Okay, so how I like to do it is I will start off with colouring, just colouring in with all of the pencils first. So I have gathered them here, don't need that now. So let me start off with the white. Just going to do that little white band across here, and a little bit of white at the tail. So colouring is always so therapeutic, isn't it, I find? And this, you can be quite scribbly, if you know what I mean. You can be quite, not rough isn't the right word, you don't have to be precise with this. Now I'm going to use crushed curry and early espresso. and I'm going to use Daffodil Delight for the beak. So let's pop them in. A little bit of yellowy orange for the beaks. What I find I do is I actually Google, if I'm colouring an animal, I'll actually Google the animal or the flower, or I remember I was doing cactuses, and I Googled cactuses, succulents, I should say, succulents, to what colours, and gosh, I was really surprised actually with succulents how many amazing colours there are. So that was really, really cool. So I like to do that so that I get an idea of the colours. So I'm just covering lightly with the pencil. This is the crushed curry. And I'm going to give him a little bit of crushed curry as well, because he is the bright coloured guy, isn't he? That's the girl that's not so flash in the duck world, or a lot of the animal world actually, animal kingdom. Actually, I didn't want that to be that colour. That's all right. Hopefully that's going to be a combination of Bermuda Bay. And I played around with the colours actually to try and, because it's a really beautiful emerald green, the top of their heads. And so I've also got garden green. I'm going to just combine the two colours together to try and get a bit of that emerald green look. Okay, now with the early espresso, I'm just going to go back in and add some shading. So the female, of course, is pretty boring. She's just sort of browny, beigey colours. This guy, of course, has got more colour. Okay. Now I'm just going to do the grass. So I have got some granny apple green. Just add that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of the garden green as well. Just to add a bit of depth to it. So as you can see, I'm being quite loose with the colouring. Okay, so now I have got balmy blue, and I'm just going to do that one on the side just to give it a bit of a softer cover. I'm going to just go in with that around these guys. So I hope everyone is well. Thank you so much for being here to watch me with my new time. Do say hi if you're there. Okay, so water and brush. So I'll start off with the lightest colour. I do like to also have, you can have a handy towel or something like that. I have a little microfiber cloth that I like to use just to wipe my brush if it's too wet or want to make sure the colour's off it. I'm just going to do a little bit on the white first. You can't really tell that, can you? But it just softens it out a bit. Okay, let's do the beaks. And then the feet. No, they're not called feet, are they? They're called something else. Web something. Okay. And let's do. Now, the magic part is if you watch this, I'll do this top part here first. Look how that blends together so beautifully as soon as you put a little bit of water on. Just amazing. Just so magic. You think you know, it just really blends together like you've coloured it so well. And I'll do him. And I'm not being very precise with this either, as you can see. Just covering it with the water. Just the water, when it's added to the pencil, does all the magic. And then his head. There we go. I thought the combination of that blue and green really does give it that the peacock look. Okay, now let's do the sky. So I'm not worried about keeping a straight edge. Okay. Just really, I keep forgetting about my pencils actually. I have them here and then I get to use them. I think, oh, I mustn't forget about them, and then you get on to doing something else and you do. They're certainly a fantastic colouring option to have in your stash. Okay, right, that's them all coloured. So let's start putting some of this together. I'm going to use crumb cake. It just gives that a minute to dry. And I have used, just give that a bit of a burnish, the Quatrefoil embossing folder. Whoops. And I have run that through. Beautiful embossing on that. I thought it just gave it a lovely background texture. Okay. Pop that on. I've cut it very close to the size of the card base actually, which is 5.5 and 8.25 and 5.5. Yeah. Okay. So then I picked these from the papers. I thought they were quite country-like with the gingham, but I'm not sure of which one to do. So let's have a look. I like all the colours in that. So that one or the gingham. What do you think? If anyone's out there, let me know what you think. The gingham or the flowery pattern. Let's put a bit of water on there. Maybe the gingham. Let me know. And I'll pop this on the back. So I've just got this foil, the specialty paper. I'm just going to run one top and bottom. Okay. And in the bottom. There we go. Okay. Everyone's shy today. No one's going to say. Let's have a look. I'll have a look again. With the gold on. So that one, it's got a bit of the yellow in it, hasn't it? or this one? Yeah, I think that one will be good. That one will be good. Made a decision. Okay. I'm just going to glue those on. There we go. And I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. So I have got a couple of the other images from there done as well. Oops. Just press those on. And so I'm not going to add ribbon. Oops. But I am going to put some, I thought the clear ones would look best. These are the Elegant Faceted Gems. Do love these. I've used these a lot, I must admit. Okay. Oops. And one big one and two small, I think. There we go. Oops. Throwing it around. So that is colouring with those gorgeous ducks. And this is the leaf pattern. The leaf out of the stamp set. Where is the stamp set? Here it is. So this is the leaf, and I took the liberty to colour that purple. Looks a bit like aubergines to me, or I don't know. I think they're supposed to be acorns, but I thought I'm going to colour them a different colour, just to be different. And this is the gorgeous fox. So just one of each of them coloured in the watercolour pencils. So if you have the watercolour pencils, they're sitting in your drawer and you haven't used them, or you want to get some, honestly, they really are wonderfully easy to use and you'll absolutely love them. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you found some inspiration, and take care, and I will see you all next week.